Hey, what up, YouTube? Hey, fight fans. It's your boy D Dynamite coming to you live, man, and I'm here to talk some boxing. So, man, let's just talk about this, man. It's official like a motherfucking whistle. Mayweather versus Pacquiao is on, people. It's in writing. Pay-per-view, May 2nd, going down MGM Grand. Let's get it, man. I'm excited about this, yo. Let's get it. I mean, years and years at a time, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. I was one of those people who thought this fight didn't have a chance of happening. Of course, I said that years ago, but I didn't think this fight had a shot in hell, man. Especially after Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez. I was one of those people like, this fight ain't happening, man. This fight is not happening. But here we are in 2015, February of 2015, and Mayweather versus Pacquiao is real. That's right, man. Pinch your motherfucking face, because on May 2nd, we're going to get Mayweather versus Pacquiao. No, it's not a drink. It's reality, people. So, I just wanted to do this video about this, man. And, this is good news. This is good for boxing, man. This is good for the sport of boxing. Your boy Al Heyman is doing it big for 2015, man. What more can you say? What more can I say? Anyway, man, what more can you say, man? So, with that all being said, now we can go on to what fans love to do. And what fans love to do is fans love to pick who they think is going to win. We can talk about that now, because for 5 years we couldn't talk about that. How you can't talk about who's going to win in a fight that there's no chance of happening. I mean, if you guys aren't going to fight, why are we talking about who's going to win? It doesn't make sense at this point. But let me just talk about in general. I felt like this fight was going to happen this year, even though my overall consensus was that this fight had no chance of happening. I felt like from when Pacquiao beat Algieri and the negotiations went underway, I saw it as being very plausible for this fight to come to fruition, because of the fact that you just don't have these multi-million-dollar CEOs coming together, making meetings, and nothing not happening. It just doesn't happen. Les Moonves, this guy's a billionaire, all right? Okay, even Bob Arum is a multi-millionaire, man. He's been making hundreds of millions since the 1980s. Okay? All right, Steven Espinoza, multi-millionaire. All right, these people, man, I don't see them coming together, putting all this time and effort into negotiations and nothing coming about. All right, so from when I saw Les Moonves and these people got involved in the negotiations, I had a very good feeling that this fight was going to happen. So I'm not shocked by this news. Okay? Actually, man, I would have preferred to not know anything about the negotiations and them just kind of announcing the fight. And, it would have been a lot better of a feeling for me. I think that's what, took some of the joy out of a lot of people's eyes. A lot of people's took a lot of breath out of a lot of people, should I say, is the fact that, we kept hearing about these negotiations. We heard almost every detail, it felt like, all, from the glove size to, HBO and Showtime disputes. And we're hearing all this news about fight negotiations. Well, we don't really give a shit about that. All we want to know is, are they fighting or are they not fighting? All right. That's all we really care about. So when the announcement was made, yeah, it was good news, but I think a lot of people were just kind of turned off by, the negotiations. Like when you cook, it's kind of like when you cook, and you spend all day cooking and you get full off the smell. You're like, okay, I'm really not hungry no more. I've been smelling this shit all day. I don't even want to eat anymore. I'm not hungry. It's that. That's how it feels. Beside the fact, man, it's still something to be excited about. Fuck all that fuck all that it's been too long, 5 years. Fuck all that, okay? Because it's still the best fight in boxing. There's no fight that's better than this. None, hands down. Not Rigo and Leo Santa Cruz. Not Canelo versus Cotto. There's no fight that you can think of right now in boxing that's better than Mayweather versus Pacquiao, okay? I don't give a fuck what nobody says. This is still the best fight in boxing. So with that being said, let's get on to talking about the fight in general, man. And let me tell you what I think is going to happen in this fight. I think this fight is going to have shades of Manny Pacquiao versus Juan Manuel Marquez 1. I believe this is going to be like the first fight, okay? I think Pacquiao is going to come out there. He's going to be Pacquiao, and I think that's going to throw Mayweather for a loop, okay? I think Pacquiao is going to be he's going to be different than what Mayweather has seen. All right? Different to the point where he may catch Mayweather, hurt him bad, maybe even drop him within the first 3 rounds of the fight. Okay? I'm going to say 3 rounds because I'm going to give even though Mayweather adjusts very fast usually, I think it's going to take him a little longer to adjust in this fight. Pacquiao's top notch. His style is very unorthodox, so it's going to take him a little bit of time to pick up the angles, pick up the timing of those straight left hands, things of that sort. Once that happens, I think Mayweather's going to proceed to break Manny Pacquiao down. He's going to pick him apart after that. That's what I think is going to happen. Okay? The middle rounds of this fight, I see Mayweather picking Manny Pacquiao apart. Okay, now the interesting part that I believe in this fight is going to be towards the end of this fight. I think towards the end of this fight, Manny Pacquiao is going to begin to get desperate. Okay, and he's going to start taking more risks. Okay, now these risks are either going to pan out for him or he's going to end up getting knocked out. That's how I see this going. I don't see Manny Pacquiao just taking a loss. This is a very important fight for Manny Pacquiao. All right, just like how it's a very important fight for Floyd Mayweather, it's a very important fight for Manny Pacquiao. So I see him almost wanting to go out on his shield in this fight. So as he proceeds to take more risks, he can get lucky and catch Mayweather with a shot, but I believe Mayweather is going to end up utilizing the timing that he learned from earlier on in this fight and catching Manny Pacquiao, hurting him, and possibly putting him out of this fight. Okay? So that's what I'm going with in this fight. That's who I'm picking. I'm going to go with Mayweather for a late stoppage, 9th round stoppage. Okay? That's what I would put my money on. Now, to me, I think the biggest thing in this fight, the most important thing in this fight to look out for or to pay attention to is what's going to happen first. Is Mayweather going to be able to adjust first, or is Manny going to be able to catch him with something first? Which one's going to happen? And I think that's going to be the biggest key to how this fight turns out. Because if Manny's able to catch Floyd first, and he's able to hurt him early, that could change the entire flow of the fight, and it can go completely different based on Mayweather being hurt early on in this fight. If Mayweather's able to adjust first, then it should be an easy night for Mayweather. I'm just gonna say it should be an easy night until Manny decides that he's ready to go ahead and risk it all towards the late rounds in this fight. But other than that, if Manny's able to hurt Floyd early on in this fight, it's going to change the entire fight. All right? This is just a big deal, man, as far as this fight's concerned. It's a really, really big deal. There's a lot at stake here. I mean, but as far as what's at stake, there's really much more at stake for Floyd Mayweather than there is for Manny Pacquiao. Okay? That's why I really believed that Floyd Mayweather deserved the lion's share of the profit for this fight. because there's just way more at stake if he loses. All right? If Manny Pacquiao loses this fight, nothing happens to him. All right? He already has 5 losses or so. Okay, it'll be 6 losses. But it will be a loss to the pound for pound king, Floyd Mayweather. He'll still be able to fight big fights. He'll still have his same fan base that's been following him all along. And everything will be just fine for him. Nothing will change. If Floyd Mayweather loses, his fan base goes down. He doesn't get the same amount of money for his fights because now he has a loss. Things start to change. How much of a change, I'm not sure, but things change. All right, you're not. There's not as big of a negotiation anymore. You're not the A side anymore. Okay, there's just a lot to consider when talking about a Floyd Mayweather loss in this fight, and I think people really don't take that into account. All right, that should be the biggest thing to talk about when it comes to negotiations is what's at stake. All right. So just food for thought, people. That's all I really had to say today, man. Let me know what you think. Hit me up on Twitter at box_X or $die. You can also hit me up on Facebook at box_or die. And you can hit me up on my website at box_or die.com, man. But until next time, it's your boy D Dynamite signing out. Holla at your motherfucking boy.